Let her. I beg of you, let him free. Smiling mouth, confused head, slow heartbeat. The words of the lady given to a 20-year-old girl are so bittersweet. Now the girl could do nothing besides put on a false smile to hide her tears, to hide the pain. It's sad and painful, but what can she do? The space in the room is so cold that it makes people panic. The coldness of space, the coldness of people's hearts. The wind outside began to blow strong. It brought with it dark clouds. The thunder gradually appeared. The voice filled with the pain. Yes, I will do what you want. Stepping out of the big gate of the house, she wiped away the bitter salty tears and then walked away purposelessly. Her heavy footsteps seemed to want to hold her back, hold on to her beautiful memories, the warm feelings of a young girl. Jackie and Rachel are considered a love couple in the Andes school. Jackie was born into the richest family in Honsar City. His father, a local healer, accidentally met and fell in love with his mother, a wealthy lady. When Jackie was a little boy, he had many people to take care of, but on the contrary, he wanted to have his own independent life. Jackie often hid in his room and locked the door. He wanted to have his own space and do whatever he felt like. No restrictions, no strings attached. He rarely wore new clothes. Jackie often sold other new ones and kept the money in a small box placed in the corner of the bed instead. Rachel, she was a daughter born into a poor family. That's why it was very difficult for her to go to school because of poverty. Her parents sold her many times to rich men to be a concubine. Rachel disagreed, and ran away to a friend's house. So she was saved. Rachel's parents are terrible people. They often invited friends to gamble and ignored the decisions of her daughter. However, she became stronger. She had to learn because she knew that only studying could help her escape this cruel fate. Jackie met Rachel in the pouring rain under the school porch. "You're not back home yet?" Jackie said. The moment she looked at him, his heart skipped a bit, but her answer was just a shake of the head. Suddenly, Jackie felt the girl's shoulders shake slightly. He took his coat off and draped it over her small body. At the moment, she felt the warmth. The warmth was not due to the warmth of the coat, but the warmth of the person who put the coat on her. She had never been treated by anyone. The rain also began to stop, and the two had to go. The moment it went to different directions. Suddenly, something urged Jackie to turn back and go in the same direction as Rachel, and asked to take her home because it was quite dark. Thanks for rain, thanks for darkness. So Jackie had a chance to meet and know who Rachel was, because he felt his destiny was here. After that conversation, he knew that she was 1 year younger than him and was in the lower grade. A week later, on the same porch, the young couple met again, showing each other's memories. He took out a necklace from his pocket and gave it to her. It was shaking so much. My throat was choking, but I couldn't say. I know it was a bit certain, but really the moment I looked into your eyes, I really fell in love with you, Rachel. Can you be my love? Can I love you? Rachel looked in at him silently for a long moment, and then she nodded. They couldn't show their feeling outside because they are still students. The two of them talked to each other through emotional letters. Each word and sentence contained their burning love for each other. For love is truly the most beautiful.
The day Rachel disappeared was also the day Jackie gave up everything in this world. He still doesn't understand the real reason she left, and he doesn't understand what he did wrong. But Jackie doesn't know that every night Rachel still thinking about him in her dreams. Up to now, both Jackie and Rachel have not been able to get over their memories. Right person, right time is happiness. Right person, wrong time is the pain of both sides. When Rachel reads and rereads the old letters, happiness remains in that letter, but the pain remains in this heart. Day after day, Rachel locked herself in her room because she didn't want to face everything outside. She didn't want to give up those letters, but he didn't dare to hold on. She wasn't brave enough. The day Rachel decided to go away to a friendly rural area because of the Jackie's mother place was the day her heart no longer had any space. Maybe my presence was the thorn in his way. If it wasn't for her, he would have gone to study abroad. A bright future awaited him, she told herself. Then I will go to a faraway place to live a happy new life, and I will forget you. But she was wrong. No matter how hard she tried, both her mind and heart still contain images and feelings for that person. Every day that goes by, they keep patient with their life in the hope of forgetting the past. However, not everything is as simple as it appears. If Rachel doesn't hear from Jackie, that day will be ordinary. He was suffering from a malignancy disease. She returned without pausing to consider her option. She doesn't care if the sky collapses, because right now the only thing she cares about is him. Jackie hated himself for the past throughout his day of illness. When he realized he doesn't have more time, I probably would not have lost Rachel if I had been brave enough. If I had the trust in myself enough. Are you missing me, Rachel? He wonders. Tears stream down in his cheek and his eyes are narrowing. It is so rainy. It's like the day we first met. Every emotion that was suppressed for so long seemed to be reawakened. Sadly, the day she met him was also the day he went into the coma. Rachel wishes he could have run a little faster. If in the past Rachel blamed her cruel fate for forcing her to lose her happiness, now she is angry at herself. Sorry, Jackie, I'm back, voice choked with tears. The time you read this letter is the time I must be gone, my little darling. Don't be upset. I never fault you or despise your choices. Just blame myself for not making you believe. Whatever happens, just be the stronger I used to be to adore. And when someone truly wants to come into your life, please open your heart to them. Learn to make the world not here yet. Forget me and live happily. I wish you a long and happy life. The wind is howling and the rain is pouring down heavily. Perhaps there is something that we have to spend a whole life understanding. I wish that all people who are in love will be able to retain their happiness together.